Hello everyone and welcome to Mathematics, where this channel is able to help you to build up your habit in completing a question a day in mathematics. So for this video we will look at 2022's Kelantan paper 1 question 15, and this question is from Form 5 chapter 1 circular measure. So before we begin, you can pause the video and try it by yourself first. So step 1, which is to highlight some important points. So for this question, we'll highlight these three, and I'm going to write these three information into the diagram. Alright, so what we see here is CD and AB is parallel. So for AB, as we know, AB is diameter. So since diameter is a straight line, so meaning CD is also a straight line. And since AB, they gave us the length, which is 20 cm. So this one, if you want to try to find the radius, we can just divide by 2. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. So let's say OA is the radius. Here will be 10. Let's move on to part A, which is to find the angle COD. So let's draw out the angle COD from this diagram first. So there are a few ways to calculate this angle out. So one of the straightforward ways is to use trigonometry. So what we need now is a right angle triangle. So here I can split this triangle COD into half. So we'll focus on this part first. And the angle that we need is cut into half. So make sure later we need to multiply by 2. And let's label this midpoint, CD midpoint, as M. So to calculate this value, we need two lengths. So one of it is from CM. So since CM is half of CD, so we can use 17.32 divided by 2 to get 8.66. And since O and C is a radius, this would be 10. And from this angle's perspective, 8.66 is our opposite side and 10 is our hypotenuse. So to calculate COM, we need to use sine. And remember, for trigonometry, we'll always have two answers. So we need to use the ASTC method to help us find. So here, it's sine and it is a positive value. So for these two conditions, it fulfills in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. If the value calculated here is labeled as theta, let's say, so if we're going to calculate the answer, for this quadrant, you always be the original value, which is theta. But for S, you need to calculate 180 degrees minus theta. You will get 60 and 120. Right, but here there are two answers, but only need to choose one. So we can observe from our diagram. As you see here, 90 is shaped like this, right? But for COM, it's less than that. Something like this. So here it's quite obvious that it's more 60, but it's not like 120. So here, take note that we are now calculating COD. So here, since COM is 60, so we need to multiply by 2. And change it to radians because the question requires. So multiply pi over 180 and you will get 2.0947 radian. So make sure you put it in for decimal place. Let's go to part B to find the perimeter of the shaded region. So the perimeter of the shaded region, we have 4 lengths. So CD is already given, which is 17.32. AB is also given, which is 20. Now what we are lacking of is arc AC and arc BD. So for arcs, we can use S equals to R theta to help us solve. So R we already have, which is 10. But the problem is the theta. So the theta we're referring to is this part, and also this part. And also you may notice arc AC is actually identical to arc DB because their angles are the same. So we just have to multiply 2 later. So let's just focus on just one, which is arc DB first. So here, what we are lacking of is the angle. Since in part A, we already calculated the angle COD. So what we need here is just calculate all the values, red and blue together is actually 180. But since this one is in radian form, we need to use pi. And we minus out the red part, which is 2.047. And since there are 2 parts, we just have to divide by 2. So now we can calculate the perimeter of the shaded region and the 2 arcs. So we're gonna multiply by 2 r theta. So we will get 47.79 cm. Moving on to part C, we are going to calculate the area of the shaded region. So let's draw out the diagram first. So usually to calculate areas, what we did is always the bigger shape minus out the smaller shape. But let's use another way to solve this question. We are going to split the area of the shaded region into parts. So we can use this way to separate it. So now you can see COD is a triangle and these two are actually sector. So here to calculate the area of the shaded region, we just need to calculate the area of one triangle plus 2 sectors. In this triangle we have a few information. As we know, CO and OD are radiuses, so here will be 10 and 10, and this angle we have already found in part A, which is 2.0947. So actually here we can use the formula from chapter 9, which is 1 over 2 AB sine C. So why can we use this? Because the two lengths here, CO and OD, covers this angle. Right? So we can use that formula. However, since this is sine, we need to use the degree format. So here actually we don't have to calculate because in part A we have already done so. So it's 2 times 60, which is 120. And we are going to add and multiply 2 with the area of the sector. So here it's 1 over 2 r squared theta. So with that, we have completed this question. So the take-home point for this video, we have 2, which is when finding the area of the shaded region, we can use another way, which is to split the region into parts. Like for example, in part C, 1 triangle and 2 sectors. The other point is using trigonometry, which we used in part A to calculate the angle of COM. Or maybe in future there may be questions to calculate the length, so we can also use trigonometry to help us find out the answer. So if you are interested in this questions answer scheme, please click the link in the video description, and you feel this is beneficial to you, please give a like, subscribe and share it to your friends and classmates. So I'll see y'all very soon in the next video. Thank you.